This is Special Chronicles, giving respect and a voice to people with special needs.
I shudder thinking how the world can be so cruel. I lend my voice to those who can't. It's time we try, it's time we care, it's time we stand. It starts with a voice.
Welcome to the Special Chronicles show. This is episode 513. My name is Daniel Spakowski, and I'm the founder of Special Chronicles and a Special Olympics Southern Rival International Global Messenger. Our website, specialchronicles.com, where you can stream our archives of over 730 episodes absolutely for free. And to follow Special Chronicles on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, our original series, award-winning columns, blogs, and sign up for our newsletter. Subscribe, rate, and review Special Chronicles on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or anywhere you listen to your podcasts. This week on the Special Chronicles show, we're on the road to the Special Olympics World Games Berlin 2023 with Charlie Phillips competing in powerlifting with the Special Olympics USA delegation. So please put your virtual hands together as we welcome Charlie to the Special Chronicles show. Welcome, Charlie. Yeah. Welcome, Charlie. Listeners will
Thank you.
applauding for you. Welcome. Welcome to the show. I'm glad to have you on. Let me lower my. There we go. We're good. And so for our listeners, let's kind of before we have you introduce yourself, I thought it could kind of be fun for us to have you share with our listeners how we first got connected and how we met up, because it's a fun story. I think I shared this with my producer. If my podcast producer Darian is listening, let me know if just send me a text if I shared this with you or not. If not, then she and our listeners will hear this for the first time. But Charlie, go ahead and share with our listeners how we first got connected, because it was a neat. It happened at breakfast at the hotel that I was staying at when I was given the keynote talk in Jefferson City, Missouri this past fall.
Yeah, so I was in my morning clothes, and I went down to have breakfast, and I saw someone with a special shirt, and I asked him, and I said, "Can you next to him?" He said, "Yeah." So that's how I met Daniel, and then I went back upstairs. I finished my breakfast, went back upstairs, got to the shower, got dressed, and then went to TLC, Training for Life campus, and then saw a couple of my friends, and then I saw him there. I said, "Whoa, I met him." And then, yeah, and you did a speech.
Also, yeah. I did the keynote speech. So yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, I was having my oatmeal. I was kind of on the table, kind of off to the side at the hotel, and you come up to me and it was neat. And then I think it was either when we had breakfast or it might have been later on. Sometime I found out that you were going to be the Missouri athlete selected to be part of the USA delegation for the Berlin World Games, right?
Yes, that was later.
That was later, yeah. Later we find out. So this, just for the listeners, this breakfast was just like an impromptu meeting. We had this mutual Special Olympics connection, and we were just meeting each other. And then later, I think it might have even been later that day, or the next day, I found out that and so I was like, well, we've got to have you on the pod, and so on the podcast. So take our listeners, share with us, kind of give us for any new listeners who are just learning about your story. Tell us about what disability you were diagnosed with and your connection to our Special Olympics movement.
Hold on. Okay. Hold on. Let me just shut the door.
Charlie is going to close the door. There, that's good. The door to my studio is
Okay.
the door. Speaking of doors being closed, the door to my studio is open. But then again, I have nobody else home here, so that's good. If I did, I would do the same thing. Okay. Anyway, so Charlie, share with our listeners what disability you were diagnosed with and your connection to our Special Olympics community.
I was diagnosed with MR, and I have a muscle disorder. And then I've been in special needs 15 years, and yeah, and it's a life phase, and it's totally fun, and everyone's friendly and all that. You know how special needs is.
Yes, I know. So, and how long have you? Well, we'll get into much more your Special Olympics story, but tell us a little bit. I was going to say how long have you been competing, but we'll give a listener a tease. So keep listening to the next segment to find out more about Charlie's story in Special Olympics as an athlete. But so you said that the disability that you were diagnosed with is with your muscles?
Muscle disorder.
Muscle disorder.
Yeah, muscle disorder.
And can you tell us a little bit about your life before being involved in Special Olympics? Like, what was your life before you became a Special Olympics athlete?
Let's see. Right. So before Special Olympics, when I was a baby, I haven't told anyone this, and I keep it personal. I have been in 21 surgeries. And I have I'm not going to show you, but I have the 2 scars on my stomach and 1 on my thigh. And then my insides are kind of messed up. And yeah, so my doctor said there's a possibility you have to be in a wheelchair the rest of your life. So I started walking, and I prove them wrong.
Awesome. Well, similar to your story, and I don't want to get too graphic for any of our live stream viewers, but just like you, I've got like some scars and stuff on my stomach too from when I was born, and I won't get into much more on my story because we'll focus on your story today. But I can definitely relate to parts of your story with having scars on your stomach, and let's go ahead and we're going to take a quick sponsor break. When we come back, we will get into your Special Olympics story, and also coming up later in the program, what I'm sure a lot of our listeners are interested is how you got selected to compete as a part of our Special Olympics USA delegation for the upcoming Special Olympics World Games in Berlin this June 2023, and we'll let you all know much more of Charlie's story after the break right here on SpecialChronicles.com when the podcast continues after this short break. We'll be right back. Support for Special Chronicles comes from listeners like you. As an independent public media podcast, Special Chronicles will always be there for you. Now we're asking you to be there for us. As a nonprofit independent media organization, we can only make programs like Special Chronicles with listener support. Our programs provide weekly, candid, honest, and inspiring conversations about the people with disabilities community that creates awareness, support, and advocacy within each week's episode. Listeners tell us our shows are an enjoyable and necessary podcast for the intellectual and developmental disability community and everyone else who is able to listen to stories about life from a different angle. Please, if you and your family love our weekly podcast, make a one-time, monthly, or annual gift of thanks today. Support this podcast at specialchronicles.com/give. That's specialchronicles.com/give. And we're back. Our guest is Charlie Phillips, competing in powerlifting as a part of the Special Olympics USA delegation at the upcoming World Games in Berlin, June 2023. So in just about, about 5 months away? I'm not good at math. 4 months?
Me evil.
It's
months.
February. We're recording this, and this is being aired February. So 4 months away. I think we did the math right. But people might be listening to this anytime. Or maybe when people are flying to Berlin, they can listen to this Road to Berlin series. And so that you guys can go, and if you're listening to this and you are volunteering or going to Berlin and joining us there, you can come and see Charlie compete. There's a website, there's going to be a mobile app, and you can go and see Charlie compete. Anyways, so let's take a listen to those as we can, before you got selected to compete at the World Games, take a listen to those back to, again, your early years of how you first got involved in a Special Olympics movement as an athlete. How did you first become a Special Olympics Missouri athlete?
So I've been in Special Olympics for 15 years. So I've been in... was in Pennsylvania before I moved over here. So I was doing soccer, track and field, speed skating, all that over in Pennsylvania. And then since I moved, I did flag football, powerlifting, what I'm doing now, and haven't stopped since.
Awesome. Okay. I just had a little light bulb kind of moment when you said that you started competing in Special Olympics Pennsylvania before you moved to Missouri. Because for our listeners know, usually before we sit down and we record a podcast, we usually have either a prep call. Sometimes it's a week before. But in this case, I called you on the phone as I was turning the microphones on and we were setting the equipment, making sure our camera was all ready. And we're recording this a week before the Super Bowl 2023. Listeners, you're going to hear this episode. If you're listening to this in real time, live, you are going to hear this the day after Super Bowl. So you guys are going to know if the Eagles or the Chiefs win. But we weren't going to bring this up, but a light bulb came up to me because you told me that, you showed me the water bottle that you have. I don't know if you want to show the viewers. It's a Philadelphia Eagles coffee, water. Water's in there, coffees.
Yeah, water.
Water, okay.
Water.
Who knows what drink is in there? We'll let our listeners use their imagination.
Yeah, well.
It's water. I mean, anyways. So, I'll get to this quickly. So, you told me that you rooting for the Philadelphia Eagles to win the Super Bowl.
Yes.
We weren't going to say this on air, but I'll say I'm rooting for the Kansas City Chiefs. And I was thinking to myself, and this was before you just shared that your story, you started in Pennsylvania. So I was thinking to myself, well, here's someone who lives in Missouri. I thought that you would be rooting for the Kansas City Chiefs, but now knowing that your story that you used to live in Pennsylvania, that all tracks. That all makes sense of why you're rooting for the Philadelphia Eagles, because that's where you grew up. That's where you started in Special Olympics. That's the first part of your story. So,
yep.
Yeah. So that all tracks. Okay. So that was the kind of the little light bulb kind of pre podcast to now on air kind of light bulb moment. Okay. Let's now get share the listeners the sports that what sports did you start participating in, and what sports that you obviously compete in powerlifting because that's why you're going to compete at the World Games in Berlin. But what are some of the other sports that you have competed in, or that you currently still compete in?
Okay, right now it's basketball season. I compete in that, and when I come back, I will do flag football.
Yep. And then you come back. So basketball, flag football, and then obviously powerlifting, right?
Yes.
So fun fact, I also compete in basketball, and my basketball season after this Super Bowl Sunday will be the end of my basketball season. Hey, it's the end of the American football season and the end of all Special Olympics basketball season. I just kind of put that together. Hey, it's February 12th. End of the NFL, the National Football season, and the Special Olympics basketball season. Okay, so those are some pretty fun sports to compete in. What's your favorite? I'm sure there could be a lot of favorite parts, but what's your favorite part of our Special Olympics movement?
My favorite part is having a good time with other athletes and playing with my friends and my teammates. And it doesn't matter if you win or lose; it's all having fun. It doesn't matter if it's a blowout or a close game. It's all having fun.
Exactly. It's and what'd you say?
And plus, when we get done competing, we'll come together and have eat lunch or have a snack or have dinner. So that's what I like about Special Olympics piece. We all come together. We are one big family. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, and I loved what you said about that. Your favorite part of a Special Olympics movement is it's all about having fun, because that's also what our athlete oath is about. Let me win, but if I can't, I'll win. Let me be brave in the attempt. And then also, that's a previous. I had a basketball coach on, a Special Olympic basketball coach on last month. Her name's Izzy, and the episode was titled "Inclusion Everywhere, Please," and she shared the same thing of that's why she likes to coach, is it's all about having fun. And so I love that that's one of the, I also like that too about Special Olympics, is that this movement is about having fun. And I don't know if you heard of Tim Shriver, chairman of Special Olympics International. His first book is called Fully Alive, Discovering What Matters Most. And in that book, Tim wrote a chapter about the fun that lasts, about that the lesson that one of Tim's sons had taught him about, even though, yes, Tim's mom founded Special Olympics, but Tim's son, so Eunice Kennedy Shriver, one of her grandchildren that's been involved in Special Olympics all his life, talked about the fun that lasts. Because Tim, I actually had Tim on this podcast, and Tim talked about that you could go to Disney World, that you could go to Disney, and that fun only lasts a limited time. But when you come into Special Olympics, like what you just talked about, Charlie, when you come into our Special Olympics movement, it's the fun that lasts. And so I love that that's your favorite part. We're going to go ahead and take another quick break. When we come back, we will get into our Road to Berlin segment of the episode, all about how Charlie got selected to compete at the World Games in Berlin this in just 4 months away this June, as well as his training camp experience and much more. after this short break right here on SpecialChronicles.com with Charlie Phillips, Special Olympics USA. We'll be right back after this short break. Support for Special Chronicles comes from ComEd. Special Chronicles is proud to partner with the ComEd Energy Force Ambassador Program. The Energy Force is the country's first energy efficiency education program designed for and taught by people with disabilities. ComEd is powering lives and really is powering us here at Special Chronicles to keep the lights on and our technology is powered on. As ComEd powers the lives of us, they're literally giving a voice to people with special needs. We thank ComEd for the generous support of our mission at Special Chronicles. Learn more at specialchronicles.com/ComEd. That's specialchronicles.com/ComEd. And support for Special Chronicles also comes from United Airlines Bridge Disability Business Resource Group. Special Chronicles is proud to partner with United Airlines and the Bridge BRG. Bridge BRG is committed to being an ally for all employees and customers with disabilities. Bridge helps to create internal awareness to keep accessibility needs in mind and partner with key organizations to empower disability inclusion for employment and travel. Bridge, connecting people of all abilities. Book your travel today on United.com or on the award-winning United app. Learn more on United's commitment to disability inclusion for employment and travel at specialchronicles.com/United. That's specialchronicles.com/United. And now, back to the show. And I'm going to fade that down, and we are going to go back here. And, oh, whoops. I was trying to... My mouse was over the previous graphic, and I was trying to kind of unclick that and not... anyways. With that, our guest is Charlie Phillips, competing as a part of a Special Olympics USA delegation at the upcoming World Games in Berlin 2023. And Charlie, can you share with us how you got selected to compete as a part of Special Olympics USA at the World Games 2023 in Berlin? Can you tell us of when you take our listeners back to when you heard that you were selected to compete at the World Games? Can you kind of take our listeners back to when you first got selected?
I was shocked. Like, I didn't know what was going on, and it's amazing that I'm going to be representing our country overseas in Palestine. It's a dream came true.
Can you tell us a little bit more about like who told you that you were going to be selected? Can you tell us a little bit better about kind of some of the emotions that was going around?
So I was on the news, local news, and so we were doing like this, but on TV, and I had no idea what was going on. And then he said it, so he was telling everyone how much I did when I was down in Texas, and then he said that I got nominated, got picked, and I was tearing up, and I'm still excited from that moment on until this interview.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm sure for our listeners to know, to get selected, whether you get selected for in Special Olympics, whether you get selected for our national games or for like this, for the World Games, there's very few of us Special Olympics athletes that get selected. They get an opportunity to compete. They get an opportunity to compete on the global stage. They get the opportunity to compete at the World Games, and so for Charlie to compete, I'm sure it was it sounded like a great opportunity. Looks like Charlie lost his video. I thought was going good. So Charlie's video. There you go.
I'm sorry. I had something pop up and I clicked on the wrong button.
No worries. That happens to me too. But let's let our listeners know. Let's not kind of move on and about the Special Olympics USA training camp. Can you tell us when this took place and where? I believe I was following around. So if people go to SpecialOlympicsUSA.org, as you see in underneath Charlie's name, if you're watching the video, if you're just listening to the audio podcast, we're going to put links in the show notes to SpecialOlympicsUSA.org. But that's where you can go if you want to follow. If you want to follow USA Delegation on social media, we'll put all those links in the show notes as well. But Charlie, can you tell us about the USA training camp? Of where was it and when did it took place? I think it took place a month or two ago.
So it was November 18th through the 21st, I think. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's when training camp was, and it took place San Antonio, Texas, and it was rough because I got to meet John's Crazy Shot, and I got interviewed by ESPN, awesome. And try on stuff, new Team USA stuff, and I brought home a couple of USA frames and more to come. And I'm just waiting. And
I think the video might have got
fun, but it was cold down there.
It was cold.
I met other athletes from different states. I met athletes from Hawaii, Alaska, Iowa, New Hampshire, Arkansas, Washington, and my hometown, Philadelphia Eagles, baby.
Awesome.
And my teammates from Philly. My teammates.
Awesome. Awesome. Now I think my video is there we go. I think my video should be coming back up. We are having a little bit of technical difficulties with the video stream, but hopefully we should be getting back up here shortly. Shortly here. Hopefully we should be getting back up here shortly. I don't know where my pen went. We should be getting back up here shortly here. There you go. Are we back? Can you hear me? Oh, and now Charlie's video is. Boy, I thought we were doing pretty good when it came to our videos. Now, both of our videos, the connection, I thought I had better internet connection in the studio. Are we there? Are we back? I think we're back. So, Charlie, sorry about that. I thought we had better, but I want to say, I want to comment a little bit on your training camp experience. I think hopefully my video might be a little frozen, but we can try. Hopefully the video will come back here shortly. But I want to comment on, let's see. Oh, wait, hold on. Where was it? Hold on. I want to see if, I think I need to, the video, there we go. I think, where do I need to get to the video? There we go. I think the video, sorry, Charlie, can you still hear me? I think you should still be able to hear me. The video is a little frozen. So we should be, we're doing pretty good. Can you hear me, Charlie?
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, wait. Now StreamYard wants to lose control of my microphone. And so wants to mute my mic. Right, there we go. That's not good for a podcast. I think we should be back. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Charlie? I think you should be able to hear me now. I think. As I adjust my microphone. You should be able to hopefully hear me. He's giving me a thumbs up, I think. I hope. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. We're back, I think. And so, Charlie, I wanted to briefly comment on your training camp experience. You said that you met John's Crazy Socks. And John is an athlete in New York. And I had John and his dad, Milk, on. They were guests on this podcast a few years ago. I forgot which episode because I've done hundreds and hundreds of these episodes of these podcasts, and so. But if you just go to specialchronicles.com and do a search for John's Crazy Socks, you should be able to find that episode. But did you guys get socks from like? Did he make some Special Olympics USA socks or?
So we got socks, knee highs, and it was only for everyone who is an athlete. And then if they are special edition, you can't find them in the store or on the internet. There's no way you can find them.
Just for the.
So he made them just for the athletes who will bail.
Awesome.
And they were pretty cool.
Awesome.
And yeah.
Awesome.
And they are in my gym bag. So
awesome. So you're going to wear them when you're in Berlin?
Yes, I'm definitely going to wear them when I'm doing deadlifts.
Awesome.
And I'm going to wear them at every powerlifting meet. And you can see the piece. I can show you.
Yeah, show me. Send me when we're done recording. Send me those, and when this episode airs next week, I will maybe I'll try to show some pictures on our Special Chronicles Instagram or Facebook page. So if you guys are following Special Chronicles on Instagram or Facebook, maybe we'll try to share some of. And if you have any other pictures from training camp, maybe we'll try to share some pictures on our Special Chronicles Instagram and Facebook, so you guys can see a little bit about Charlie's training camp experience. I think you've also been sharing some on your Instagram, right? And you've been sharing about some of your training. So with that, let's now get into a little bit about, if I can, I think my video might be hopefully not going to freeze again, but a little bit about the upcoming Special Olympics World Games, Berlin 2023. It's taking place the 17th to the 25th of June. You can go to berlin2023.org. We're going to put all the links in the show notes. But tell us a little bit about what you are looking forward to at the upcoming Special Olympics World Games in Berlin. Just 4 months away.
I'm just looking forward to having fun over there, competing, trying new foods, celebrating, sightsee, cheer on my teammates, and be there with my teammates. It's going to have a lot of fun, and it's once in a life opportunity. Is totally different than USA Games, but this is here's the USA Games, here's Worlds, and I'm so ready.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, it sounds like I'm excited. Hopefully, I'm going to talk with my mentor and see if we can come and see you compete at powerlifting in Berlin. But yeah, for those listeners to know, competing at the program level, at the state level is one thing, but like you said, competing at the national level is one thing, but competing at the World Games, like what Charlie is saying, if you've never, which most athletes, it's their first time competing at the World Games. Some athletes are lucky enough to, I think maybe like 1 or 2 times at the most, but it's a really unique opportunity, like Charlie, like you just said. We're going to go and take one final sponsor break, to let you know about a couple of the services that we use here at Special Chronicles to produce and record this podcast. When we come back, we will get to some final thoughts, that final question, and let people know how they can follow you and your journey to the upcoming World Games as a part of the Special Olympics USA delegation. Our guest is Charlie Phillips, competing in powerlifting as part of as I said, the USA delegation at the World Games in Berlin. When our road to Berlin will conclude after this final break, right here on SpecialChronicles.com. We'll be right back. Special Chronicles is hosted by Podbean Podcast Hosting, the easiest, most affordable option to get started in podcasting. At Special Chronicles, we proudly host our weekly podcasts with Podbean and highly recommend you use Podbean Podcast Hosting to get started in podcasting today. Sign up for an unlimited hosting plan and get 1 month free now to get started in podcasting today when you visit specialchronicles.com/Podbean. That's specialchronicles.com/Podbean. Our live streams are powered by StreamYard, the easiest way to create professional live streams. StreamYard is a live streaming studio in your browser. Interview guests, share your screen, and much more. Stream directly to Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and other platforms. Sign up for StreamYard today using our StreamYard Referral link when you visit specialchronicles.com/StreamYard. That's specialchronicles.com/StreamYard. And we're back. Charlie, this is a part of the show where we get into some social media plugs. So you want to share with the listeners how they can connect with you on Instagram and Facebook, and then as well as to follow Special Olympics USA?
Okay, so on Facebook, just type my name, Charlie Phillips, down here. And then on Instagram, type Chaka_Beast1.
Awesome. And for those listening, if you are listening or watching and you don't know where to go, just look in the show notes in the description below for specialchronicles.com/podcast513. And in the show notes, we will include direct links to Charlie's Instagram and Facebook if you want to connect and follow him personally. And then if you want to follow Special Olympics USA, Charlie actually told this to me, even though I had it in the show notes, but he told me, because I was looking for the picture that you guys are probably going to see for this episode is Charlie's USA powerlifting, his, I guess you could call it your team headshot. And so, Charlie, you told me before going on the air where to go to get connected with Special Olympics USA. So now that you told me, do you want to tell the listeners where they can go to connect with Special Olympics USA delegation?
Yes, so you see my name, click on, go to, type that in a Safari, and then go to not Dubai, not Abu Dhabi, but Berlin 2023. And then, yes.
So,
and then go to meet the team, Berlin, this Berlin team, and then go and you'll see me. If you're on the laptop, I'll be on the far right. If you're on your phone, I'll be the top person. And just click on my face. It has this link of my bio and then my picture.
Awesome.
And you just feel free to read my bio if you want to.
So, just for our listeners, we'll put links in the show notes for episode 513 on specialchronicles.com. But you can go to specialolympics.usa.org, as Charlie said, and then go to Meet the Team, Berlin 2023, and then click on Powerlifting, and then you can find Charlie near the top. And so, but if you guys, that's too hard to remember, or if you're driving or walking and you don't have time, just look. We'll include all the links to get connected with Special Olympics USA and hashtag Cheer for USA, as well as the social media links in the show notes on specialchronicles.com for episode 513. With that, there's also a little fact sheet that you could download that will include a link for USA delegation. But if you guys want to get involved and come join us in Berlin, it might be too late to register to volunteer, but you can still, I think, get tickets and you can be a fan in the stands and get connected by going to Berlin2023.org. And that is the 17th to the 25th of June is the upcoming World Games that Charlie will be competing in. And if you want to get involved and enjoy the fun that lasts, as Tim Shivel says, and as Charlie talked about in our Special Olympics movement, you can connect with your local Special Olympics program by going to specialolympics.org, and then you can find your local program anywhere in the U.S. or in your local country or program. And with that, and we'll include links in the show notes as well. With that, Charlie, before we get to that final question, do you have any final thoughts on your overall time here today on the Special Chronicles show that you would like to share with our listeners?
Doesn't matter who you are. You could be a man or woman. Go chase your dreams. Put the hard work in. Put your dedication, time, and effort in. And one day, you'll be on Team USA. It doesn't matter if you want to be whatever. What you want to do. Put in your hard work, effort, time, sweat, blood, and tears, all of that, and then your dreams will come true. It doesn't matter if you're an athlete or a chef or a bus driver or an anchor or a radio person. Always work your butt off until you achieve your goals and move on to your dreams. That's what I'm doing.
Awesome. Well, that's a great lesson to share with our listeners as we wrap up this episode. But first, before we say goodbye and let you get back to the rest of your evening and afternoon and the rest of your week, we got one final question, and we're going to go ahead and play that bumper.
We're not just athletes.
We are the ambassadors of an uprising. Peaceful protesters.
In a rebellion against anyone
who has a fear of difference.
Difference.
Our demands are
equality,
dignity,
and the recognition of our
shared humanity. We will not stop
or accept anything less.
Today, our world is
more divided than ever.
And coming together has never been more urgent.
The revolution is inclusion. Find out more at jointherevolution.org.
And Charlie, ever since I attended the 2019 Special Olympics World Games in Abu Dhabi, I've been asking all the guests one final question, and I'll do the same with you. As you know, inclusion and the inclusion revolution is a big message in our Special Olympics movement, and inclusion is important here at Special Chronicles. So the final question that we'll conclude and we'll leave our listeners on, and I'll conclude with you as well and ask you, what does inclusion mean to you?
It means inviting Special Olympics athletes to compete and be involved, and you won't leave anyone out, and you involve everyone. It doesn't matter. You're 25, 60, 18, 19, and you have a disability and someone left you out. Just invite them to have fun with you. Like, say you're on the basketball court or on the flat football field or on the powerlifting platform, and you saw a Special Olympics athlete there, and that's amazing because it's all one big inclusion and a family, and we should never leave any athlete behind. Doesn't matter if they have Down syndrome or a different disability than we do. And it's totally heartbreaking because you see other athletes having struggled, just invite them to hang out with you or have lunch with you or do something so we don't be alone. And that's what special inclusion means. Spend time with other athletes. It doesn't matter you from Kansas City, Chicago, or Washington, the Big Apple, or LA. Invite someone to have fun with. That's what inclusion means.
Awesome. Well, that's a perfect way to wrap up this episode. And for those of you listening, I hope you enjoyed hearing from Charlie's story. And you can follow and cheer for Charlie and the Special Olympics USA delegation as they compete at the upcoming Special Olympics World Games in Berlin this June, the 17th to the 25th of June 2023. So follow Charlie, cheer for USA, and remember, you can remember to subscribe and rate and review this podcast on Apple Podcasts. Follow Special Chronicles and connect with us on our Instagram and Facebook, and you can join in the conversation on our Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn, and we'll be back next week with another exciting episode. We have new episodes drop every Monday, 6 p.m. Central Time. And yeah, Charlie, you had a final comment.
I have a question. So, is this going to be on YouTube or Instagram? So everyone, that follow me.
Yeah. You want me to?
The one.
You want me to answer that now or after the episode? After I play the outro. You know what? I'll answer that.
Answer now.
Now? On air? Okay. Yeah. Let's go ahead and do it now. Okay. So yes, I'll let you and all the listeners know. Yeah, this episode, if you guys are listening, it's live. You guys probably know where to find it about. You can watch this episode on the Special Chronicles channels on. Hopefully the video is not cutting off. You can watch. I think my phone's okay. You can watch the video episode on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Just look up, and also the audio podcast on Apple Podcasts, Special Chronicles, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. All the links are on specialchronicles.com to listen or watch. Did that answer your question?
Let's go. Yeah.
So new episodes drop every Monday. We'll be back next week, and keep following our Road as the camera just dropped. Keep following our Road to Berlin series every month from now through May, monthly, and then June we will have weekly Road to Berlin episodes, and then I think even in the middle of July we'll kind of have some. July we'll have some live from Berlin episodes, or on location from. So keep following specialchronicles.com/Berlin 2023 to follow this series as we meet as you and as you listeners get to meet more athletes like Charlie competing at the World Games right here on specialchronicles.com. We'll be back, and remember, choose to include. We'll see you next week. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Special Chronicles podcast. Our podcast was produced by Daniel Smikowski on the Special Chronicles Network. Follow Special Chronicles on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Subscribe, rate, and review Special Chronicles on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Our website, specialchronicles.com, where you can stream our archives of over 500 episodes absolutely for free. Also, there's a list of our favorites, original series, award-winning columns, and blogs. And sign up for our newsletter to receive exclusive bonus content delivered to your inbox. Again, specialchronicles.com. Special Chronicles is hosted by Podbean Podcast Hosting. Our live streams are powered by StreamYard. Thanks as always to our business manager, Adam Smukowski, who always encourages us to never give up. I'm Daniel Smukowski, back next week with more stories.
Special Chronicles, giving respect and a voice to people with special needs.